Congratulations. God says tonight at 11 p.m., a sudden miracle is coming to your house. This blessing is meant for you tonight. Open this message now. A life-changing blessing is about to reach you, and you don't want to miss what is coming tonight. My beloved child, at the very moment when your heart feels as though it is about to break, once again, I am drawing near to remind you that this is not your ending. Pause the noise that is pulling you away from peace. Stop chasing the things that make your thoughts even more confused and remain with me in this moment. I am not calling you through threats, nor do I want you to fear that if you are one step too slow, every good thing will disappear. I am calling because you have endured long enough in silence, walked through too many heavy days alone, and grown accustomed to hiding your deepest wounds behind a calm appearance. I know where you are hurting. I know what has just happened to make your hope feel fragile again. And I know the question you keep repeating in your heart: will anything ever truly change? You have prayed prayers that no one heard except me. There were times when you no longer had enough strength to speak aloud, so you simply sat in a dark room and allowed the tears to fall. There were nights when you looked into the emptiness, longing for one small sign that you had not been forgotten. You once tried to call someone and then stopped. You wanted to pour out everything in your heart, yet in the end you only said that you were fine. I was there in every one of those moments. Not one sigh of yours disappeared into emptiness. Not one tear became meaningless. I saw the exhaustion hidden behind your smile, the fear behind your hesitant decisions, and the courage within every time you still rose to begin another day. I do not consider what you have gone through to be small. Others may tell you that everything will pass, but they do not know how much strength it has taken simply for you to remain standing. They do not know which words still echo in your mind, which betrayals made you cautious, or which losses caused you to stop daring to hope too much. I understand why you built walls. I know you did not become distant because you were incapable of love, but because you loved sincerely and received wounds in return. Yet, my beloved child, I do not want the wall that once protected you to become a prison that prevents you from receiving what is healthy. I am teaching you to open your heart with wisdom, not with naivety, to move forward in trust without forgetting the lessons that helped you mature. What I am preparing is not a fragile promise for you to cling to in an emotional moment and then abandon in disappointment. When everything does not change immediately, I want to accomplish a lasting work within you, beginning in the place no one else can see. I will restore the way you see yourself before I change the way the world sees you. I will remove the false belief that you must be perfect in order to deserve love. I will heal the self-blame that has caused you to carry old failures into every new day. I will teach you to distinguish between humility and belittling yourself, between kindness and allowing others to continually cross your boundaries. When the inner parts of your life return to proper order, outward things will also begin to change in a steadier and healthier way. You may be waiting for a great miracle, but do not overlook the ways I often work in life. A miracle sometimes begins when you find the strength to leave a place that has worn you down. It may come through a new door, a sincere person appearing at the right time, an awakened idea, or a decision you once feared, but now have enough peace to make. Sometimes what you ask for is not given in the form you imagined, because I know what will truly lead you into freedom. I do not merely want to solve one situation. I want to make you stronger, wiser, and mature enough not to return to the cycles that once wounded you. Do not think that delay means I am not listening. Some answers must be prepared through layers you cannot yet see. Some doors have not opened because you are still being protected from something that appears good, but is not yet right. Some people had to leave so that you could realize how much authority you had given to their approval. There are also seasons of silence in which you learn to stand without depending on immediate signs. I am not making you wait in order to exhaust you. I am building within you a foundation, strong enough that when something new arrives, you will not lose it through haste, fear, or old habits. You do not need to force yourself to feel something extraordinary right now. Let peace come gently. Breathe slowly, lay down your worst predictions, and stop trying to control your entire future in one night. You only need to look at the next step. If there is a conversation that needs to happen, prepare for it with honesty. If there is a door that must close it calmly. If you need rest, help, or the courage to admit that you are not all right, do not delay because you fear appearing weak. I do not measure your strength by how much you can endure in silence. Sometimes the greatest courage is allowing yourself to be supported. I have remembered your name, not because I placed you on some mysterious list, but because you have always had a place in my love. You do not need to compete for my attention, nor do you need to prove that your pain is greater than someone else's. I see you as clearly as though you were the only person in the world standing before me. I know what you have lost, the times you were misunderstood, and the small victories no one ever celebrated. I saw you pull yourself out of despair and learn to live again after days when you thought you could not continue. Those things were never insignificant. Every time you chose truth instead of avoidance, forgiveness instead of resentment, and a new beginning instead of surrender, something inside you was being transformed. In the hours ahead, your circumstances may not immediately become completely different, but you can become different in the way you face them. I can give you calm where there was panic, clarity where there was confusion, and strength where you believed only weakness remained. This too is divine intervention. When what once caused you to collapse can no longer rule your response, when you look at the same old problem but no longer see yourself as helpless. When you understand that a closed door cannot determine your worth or your future. From this inner transformation, new decisions will be born, healthier relationships will be chosen, and another direction will gradually open. I want you to stop calling yourself the one who was left behind. You have not been forgotten in the crowd, removed from good things, or made too late to begin again. The passing years may have taken time from you, but they cannot take away your ability to rebuild. Those who hurt you may have left marks, but they have no authority to write the rest of your story. Through the choices you make today, I am placing the pen back into your hands. You can write with wisdom instead of reaction, with self-respect instead of fear of abandonment, and with hope that has been tested instead of illusions that quickly fade. If you want to say, Amen, let it be more than a momentary response. Let it become an agreement that you will no longer continue fighting against yourself. Let it mean that you are willing to abandon habits that drain your heart, willing to receive help, and willing to move forward even without seeing the entire road. I do not need a loud but empty declaration. I value a small decision carried out faithfully. One day lived according to what you have understood has more power than many declarations without action. My beloved child, remain in this peace. What I do does not need a loud sound in order to be real. The deepest changes often begin quietly like dawn, slowly pushing darkness beyond the horizon. You may not yet see everything changing, but you are no longer standing exactly where you once stood. I am leading you out of despair, one thought, one decision, and one step at a time. Lift your head, wipe away your tears, but do not be ashamed that you cried. Continue living. Not because life has never hurt you, but because pain is not permitted to speak the final word. I am still near, still working, and still leading you toward a day when you will look back and understand that the moment you thought you were falling apart was the very moment a new path began to open. My beloved child, there are moments that seem accidental, but have actually been prepared for a long time, so that you would stop, look deeply at your journey, and realize that you have never walked alone at this very moment. I am surrounding you with peace, protecting your mind from chaos and clearing away what has been obscuring the path ahead. You may not yet see the change with your eyes, but do not assume that everything is standing still. Quiet movements are taking place in your relationships, work, family, and within your own heart. One timely conversation can untangle something that has troubled you for months. A door you believed was closed may reopen in a wiser way. A reply you have been waiting for may arrive and release the heaviness that has pressed upon your chest for too long. I do not want you to live through fearful speculation. I want you to move forward with alert and steady trust, knowing that even when you do not understand everything, you are still being guided. I have seen the burden on your shoulders that no one else fully understands. You tried to fulfill your responsibilities, protect everyone from worry, and continue smiling, even when almost no strength remained within you. There were nights when you lay down, yet your mind continued, running through every expense, every appointment, and every unanswered matter. You wondered how much longer you would have to endure, how much harder you would have to try, and whether anyone truly saw what you were going through. I see you. I see not only the tears that fell, but also the tears you fought to hold back. I know the weariness within every breath and the emptiness you felt after giving everything, while the result still did not come. Today, I want you to stop pretending that you are not hurting. You do not have to be strong before me. Lay down what is exhausting you, for I am not calling you to continue straining, but to learn how to live supported. You have never been forgotten, even when the waiting made you believe otherwise. The prayers you offered did not disappear into emptiness. They became markers along your journey of maturity, helping me lead you out of haste and teaching you to distinguish what is truly good from what merely appears attractive. Some answers have not come because you are being protected from an outcome that is not yet right. Some things needed to slow down so that the people involved could change, circumstances could be arranged, and you could become steady enough to receive without losing yourself. I am not delaying in order to hurt you. I am preparing a foundation so that when something good comes, it can remain. Do not allow the whisper of disappointment to convince you that I have moved away. Silence does not mean absence. Sometimes it is in silence that I am doing my deepest work. I know you long for a great change, something powerful enough to end the long chain of difficult days. But understand that a miracle does not always appear through events that astonish everyone. Sometimes the miracle is that you find enough strength to rise and try again after failure. It may be the clarity to refuse a dangerous opportunity, the courage to leave a place that continually harms you, or a new idea that brings you out of a dead end. Sometimes I send help through someone who knows how to listen, a compassionate professional, more suitable work, or a disciplined financial decision. Do not despise small beginnings. A wide door is often opened by a very simple key, and a restored life often begins with one right decision, repeated every day regarding the material needs that cause you anxiety. I want you to enter sufficiency through wisdom rather than illusion. I can open sources of provision you have never considered, but I will also teach you to manage what is already in your hands. Examine the way you work, spend, save, and use your abilities. Stop postponing what you know needs to be done. Learn before deciding, verify before believing, and do not give your money to promises that sound too easy. Sustainable provision will not require you to lose peace or dignity. What comes through wisdom will help you build, rather than pull you into another cycle of chaos. I do not merely want to rescue you from temporary lack. I want you to become someone who knows how to create stability for your family. Share without depleting yourself, and remain humble when you have more. The peace I am bringing into your home is not merely the feeling of quiet during one evening. It is a new order in how people speak, listen, and treat one another. I am teaching you not to use anger to defend your pain, not to use silence as punishment, and not to carry old wounds into every new conversation. Some relationships need to be repaired through honesty, but some boundaries must also be established, so that peace is no longer continually violated. You are not responsible for keeping everyone in your life. Those who truly love you will respect truth, will not manipulate your kindness, and will not continually cause you to question your worth. I am helping you clear away confusion, not through retaliation, but through clear and mature decisions. My beloved child, I am also healing the hidden place that made you believe you must always appear to be all right. You became so accustomed to being a source of strength for others that you forgot you also need support. You listened to everyone, but rarely allowed anyone to hear you. You concealed your exhaustion because you feared being seen as weak, and then quietly collapsed when no one was near. From today onward, do not see honesty as failure. Speak when you need help. Rest when your body signals that it has reached its limit. Seek appropriate care when something in your health feels wrong. I do not want you to use faith to deny reality. I want you to use faith to face reality with courage, clarity, and responsibility. I can restore the years you believe were lost by turning those experiences into maturity. I do not reverse time, but I can make what hurt you no longer meaningless. Rejection taught you to recognize where you truly belong. Loss taught you to appreciate what remains. Mistakes gave you a caution that early success might never have produced. Therefore, do not look back at the past only with regret. See also the person you have become through those seasons of testing. You know how to love more deeply, discern more clearly, and understand that lasting things require time to build. I am using all of this to write a new chapter, unlike those that came before. Do not allow the word impossible to become the door that locks you in. Some things are beyond your ability, but that does not mean you must surrender before beginning. Do your part today. Send the letter that needs to be sent. Finish the work left incomplete. Make a plan for what you want to change, and step away from the habit that keeps you stagnant. You do not need to see the whole path before taking the first step. I will give enough light for each stage, not necessarily for the entire journey at once. As you remain faithful in small steps, your vision will gradually widen. When you stop delaying, opportunities once hidden behind fear will become clearer. You have not been overlooked. You are not too late. Good things have not ended simply because you passed through a long season of pain. I am still renewing your strength, adjusting your direction, and bringing the right people into the journey ahead. Good news may not come in the form you once imagined, but when it comes, you will understand why certain things had to leave. Provision may not appear like sudden rain, but through stable work, an opportunity to grow, or an ability within you finally being used in the right place. Keep your heart open to the ways I work, and do not limit the answer to one form. Now let your shoulders become lighter. Breathe slowly and release what you cannot control. I am not asking you to solve your entire life in one day. I only want you to trust enough to take the next step, rest enough to hear wisdom, and remain humble enough to receive help. What is breaking apart is not necessarily the end. Sometimes old structures are making room for something healthier. I am leading you from mere survival into a purposeful life, from fear of scarcity into wise stewardship, and from isolation into sincere connection. Lift your head, my beloved child. I do not promise that every difficulty will disappear today, but I promise that you will not face them with the same hopeless version of yourself. I am renewing your mind, strengthening your heart, and teaching you to walk in a peace that does not depend entirely upon circumstances. One day, you will look back upon these days and realize that when you thought you were nearly collapsing, you were actually learning how to stand. Your prayers were not lost. They led you into maturity, clarity, and a new door. Continue moving forward because your story is not over, and what I am building will be deeper and more lasting than what you once hurriedly asked for. I am awakening within you the source of life that long seasons of drought had covered, so that you may remember that peace never completely left you. There were days when you believed only exhaustion remained, that joy had closed its door, and that your heart would always be cautious before anything good. Yet I am gently reopening the rooms you locked because you were afraid of being wounded again. You will gradually rediscover joy in very small things. Morning light passing through the window, a peaceful meal, a voice that makes you feel understood, or a night when you can sleep without carrying tomorrow into bed. These are not insignificant things. They are signs that life is returning, signs that the deepest part of you is no longer imprisoned by former days, as it once was. Do not wait for a great event before believing you are being restored. Some of the most important changes begin in silence. When you realize that you no longer want to argue in order to prove your worth, no longer feel compelled to return to places that repeatedly harmed you, and no longer fear loneliness so deeply that you keep people who do not know how to value you. Growth often comes gently and without noise, yet changes the entire direction of your life. One day you wake and understand that you do not need anyone's permission to have peace. At some point, you can speak about the past without feeling your chest tighten. One honest conversation may help you lay down what you kept hidden for years. I want you to know that every small step matters, because each one proves that the past is gradually losing its power over your present. When I enter your circumstances, I do not always make everything happen according to your imagination. Sometimes you ask me to keep someone in your life, but I give you enough clarity to recognize that their presence is draining you. Sometimes you want an old door to reopen, but I lead you down another path because the former place no longer fits the person you are becoming. Sometimes you want the answer immediately, while I am correcting habits, fears, and patterns of thought that might cause you to lose what you desire. I do not merely want to give you a gift. I want to prepare you to become someone steady enough to preserve it. I care not only about what you receive, but also about who it will cause you to become. Therefore, do not believe that delay is always refusal. Some things need time to take root. Some wounds must be cleaned before they can close, and some relationships need to be seen through truth rather than longing. I am helping you stop confusing love with dependency, kindness with exhausting yourself, and forgiveness with continually allowing others to violate every boundary. Peace does not come when you try to keep everything intact at any cost. It comes when you are mature enough to know what must be protected, what needs repair, and what must be decisively released. I am leading you out of this confusion so that you can live gently without becoming weak, and love without becoming blind. Pain will no longer be the lens through which you see everything. You once entered new relationships with fear of abandonment, viewed every opportunity through memories of failure, and received kindness with suspicion. I understand why you became defensive, but what once helped you survive does not need to accompany you forever. I am teaching you to see the present with clarity, not forcing new people to pay for the mistakes of those before them, and not allowing one fall to convince you that every door will close. You can be cautious without becoming cold. You can observe without becoming distrustful. You can open your heart while still maintaining boundaries that protect your peace. Scarcity will no longer control every decision you make. I know there were times when you lived under the fear that you would never have enough, so you hurried to seize unverified opportunities, kept relationships only because you feared losing support, or worked until you were exhausted because you believed everything would collapse if you stopped. But I am leading you into a life of order. You will learn to manage what you have, distinguish what is necessary from what merely attempts to fill an inner void, and stop chasing promises that require you to exchange your peace. Begin with practical things. Examine how you use your time, organize your finances, complete what remains unfinished, and stop habits that quietly weaken you. I will not do your part of the responsibility, but I will give you the clarity and strength to carry it out. You also need to learn how to rest without guilt. You became accustomed to allowing yourself to stop only when you were completely exhausted, as though your worth were measured by how much you could carry. But I have never loved you because of your productivity. I do not look upon you with disappointment when you need a quiet day, distance from noise, or help from another person. Listen to your body, respect your limits, and do not call self-care selfishness. When you rest at the proper time, you are not avoiding responsibility. You are protecting your ability to continue on the long road. I want you to live sustainably, not burn brightly for one moment and then collapse because you forgot yourself. My beloved child, I am not waiting for some distant day to begin renewing your life. Today you can choose a different thought in place of the condemnation that has repeated itself in your mind. You can stop telling yourself that everything is too late. You can leave a conversation that only creates confusion. Admit that you need help, or begin again on work you postponed because you feared failure. It may be only one small decision, but if it moves you closer to truth and peace, it will change your direction. When your direction changes, tomorrow no longer has to repeat yesterday. Do not despise faithfulness in small things. For many great doors are opened through choices no one sees. I want you to stop waiting until you feel completely ready before acting. You may still be afraid and yet move forward. You may not fully understand and still do what is right before you. You may still be wounded and yet begin establishing boundaries. Courage is not the absence of anxiety. It is refusing to allow anxiety to decide for you. Do what you know needs to be done, and I will illuminate the next step. You do not need to carry the entire road in your mind at once. The light for today is enough for you to advance, and when you reach tomorrow, I will give additional clarity. The years you believe were lost can still produce value. I do not reverse time, but I can transform experience into wisdom, mistakes into discernment, and seasons of loneliness into deep compassion. You will understand others in ways an easy life could never have taught you. You will know how to value kindness because you once lacked it, protect peace because you lived too long in chaos, and love with maturity because you once gave your heart too quickly. No lesson needs to become a chain. I will help you carry the wisdom and leave behind the pain that is no longer necessary. The heart that became hard in order to protect itself can become gentle again, without returning to former naivety. I will not make you forget everything that happened, but I will heal the way you remember it. Memory will no longer become the place that pulls you backward. Whenever something similar appears, you will look back and realize how far you have come. You will stop waiting for the person who hurt you to return and confirm that you were worthy. Your value does not depend on who stayed or who left. You do not need an apology in order to be free. Some forms of liberation begin when you stop waiting for someone else to change and choose to step out of the cycle that held you for too long. Your tired body needs care, your confused mind needs rest, and your heart needs relationships in which truth can breathe. I am teaching you to seek help when needed. Listen to wise counsel and stop concealing everything merely to maintain an appearance of strength. You do not need to prove endurance by suffering alone. I may use a trustworthy person, a conversation, a professional, or a change in your way of living to bring you back into balance. Open your heart to these good means. Help does not make you small. It reminds you that you were created to live supported, not isolated. Now lift your head and receive the peace that is returning. You are not cursed, trapped, or forgotten in this journey. What has broken does not have the authority to declare that everything afterward will also break. Your weak days cannot erase the strength being restored. Your life has not ended. It is being rearranged to reflect more clearly the wisdom, self-respect, and purpose I am placing within you. Let the old things lie down without digging them up again every day. Allow hope to return without forcing it to prove everything immediately. Let the new person within you rise, not loudly, but steadily. I am working first in the way you see yourself. When you stop calling yourself by the names of your failures, you will begin choosing differently. When you stop believing that you deserve only little things, you will no longer accept treatment that exhausts you. When you view the past as a teacher rather than a prison, you will have enough courage to enter the future. I am opening before you a path that does not require you to become someone else, but invites you to return to the true nature that fear concealed. Walk one day at a time with clear eyes, diligent hands, and a heart that knows how to preserve peace. I am still here leading you out of what is old, rebuilding what was broken, and making room in your life once again for joy, love, and healthy beginnings.